Lots of misconceptions exist about first class. Some of them are you must be a genius before you can achieve a first class. Number two is that you must study for very, very long hours every day before you can achieve a first class. Others believe that you must sacrifice your social life and extracurricular activities. Some others believe, oh, first class does not matter. That you came out first class doesn't mean you have to be first. In this video, I'm going to tell you practical tips on how to come out with a first class. If you want to come out with first class, you must set goals. You must tell yourself, yes, I want to come out with a first class. I always tell people whenever I have opportunity to mentor youth, to mentor teenagers, I always tell them, if you are entering into the university, set your goals to come out with a first class. In case peradventure you don't come out with first class, you can drop a little to 2-1. But if you set your target for 2-1, you can actually drop and get 2-2 or lower or third class. So I always say people, first of all, set a goal. Tell yourself, in this 4-year program, I am going to come out with a first class. Put your mind into it and start early. Start early from year 1. From the first day of the class, start early. That is one of the secrets of coming out with a first class. You have to set your goal, put your mind and tell yourself, number 1, I'm going to come out with a first class. Number 2, I'm going to start early. Number 3, you put your mind into it. That is the first step. Number 2 is to develop a study routine. You should better sit down and develop a study routine based on the courses you're going to be offering. I'm going to develop a study routine. Okay, I'm going to study this for this day. I'm going to study this for this day. By then, you'd have gotten your timetable. You get a study routine, write a timetable and stick to it. That means you are becoming focused, you have a direction, and it will help you to achieve coming out with a first class. Number 3 is to understand your course requirements. Now you are in school, you are going to be having so many courses in your year 1, you're going to be having a lot of courses. Year 2, you're going to be having different courses. Year 3, and final year, depending on the level, the number of years you're spending in school. It's very important to familiarize yourself with each course. Each courses have their different peculiarities. One of the ways to familiarize yourself with the courses is to ask your seniors, people that have been in your shoe before time. I know that different lecturers have different patterns they teach, they have different expectations, they have what they want. So what you have to do is to familiarize yourself. Oh, this course has a practical section. Oh, this course has a theory section. Oh, this is the lecturer that teaches it. These are the expectations. You familiarize yourself ahead of time. You know the expectations from each course. You know how to go about it. If possible, if you can get materials ahead of time, that is fine. Familiarize yourself. Remember, I said in my first step is to start early. Set goals and start early. So familiarize yourself early and get acquainted with all the courses you are going to do in that particular semester. Number 4 point I want to talk about is to attend classes regularly. For me, each time I attend classes, I have passed my exam 60%. I am somebody that if I don't attend classes, I will struggle while I'm reading. When you attend classes, you will know the direction the lecturer is going. You see you'll be able to know and understand in details what that course is all about. The teacher may drop some tips, may drop some possible exam questions. Another importance is that it will give you an edge when you want to read later on. You'll be able to know, oh, this is what the lecturer said. It will be able to have shorter time reading. When you don't attend classes, if you take up that textbook to read or take up that material, you may not be able to have an in-depth understanding. You'll be able to know the context the lecturer explained each of the concepts they were teaching you. So it's very, very important to attend lectures. Please do not skip your lectures if your aim is to come out with your first class. Number 5 point is read and review regularly. For me, after each class, I try to go and read what I've been taught for that day. Example, if a lecturer was to come after a particular course, and the lecturer did not come, you can actually take out time and read what you have learned. It will make that sink more into your brain. Or after the whole day, you can take out time to read. It's good to read regularly, get materials, get study material, get the material from the lecturer, get previous study materials, get your textbook, review. As you are reviewing what you have been taught, you can actually check textbooks and review and freshen up what you have been taught. If you can do it regularly, at least spend 2 hours every day to review what you have done, you will find out that you will do excellently well. And it's also very important when you are setting your timetable, your routine, as I mentioned earlier, you put in consideration the courses you learned that day. It's better you study those courses you've learned that day. By the end of the day, you try and study and review it. Number 6 is to understand reading timing and practice time management. What do I mean by this? Personally, when I was an undergraduate, I read in the daytime. I have my library ID card. Even when Uniport erected a new library structure, I quickly have to go and update and get a new library ID card. I read in the daytime. I'm a daytime reader. I remember those days my roommate, they were going to do TDB till daybreak, and I was like, hey, Chigozirimo, you are not reading. One day, I summoned courage and I went with them. And I read. After reading, it was like I read in my dreams. When I woke up the next morning, I couldn't remember anything. The second time I followed them to read in the night, I slept all through. I told myself, Chigo, this does not work for you. So what I now did, I understood that I'm a day reader. So I read in the day. If any class is cancelled, I'll just take my bag, I sleep to the library, I read. I have my friends, I tell them, please call me when the non-lecturer comes in. I go to the library and read. I read in the day, in the night, I sleep. It's good to understand yourself. If you're a person that reads in a noisy environment, if you're a person that reads in a quiet environment, if you're a person that reads with music, if you don't read with music, different people have different patterns. So understand your timing, understand your peculiarity. Don't say, oh, I must read. You see people reading music, you put music. I can't read with music, it distracts me. But if it works for you, just know what works for you. Understand your timing. And make sure you are intentional. For you to come out in first class, you have to be intentional. Even when I got admission to do my master's in University of Ibadan, immediately I reached the second day, what I asked was, where is the library? Immediately I got to the library, I went and did the library card in UI, I went and did the library card in UCH because our lectures were in UCH. So in the first 1 week of my entering UI, I had my 2 library ID card. I had my library card from UI library and I had in the UCH. So I had those 2 library cards because I'm a day reader. So understand your pattern and stick to it. And 7 is to seek help when needed. If you want to come out with first class, you have to seek help. Where are the sources of your help? If you can speak to your lecturer, maybe for a course you don't understand, if your lecturer is accessible and somebody that will not victimize you, you can seek help from your lecturers. Number 2, you can seek help from your seniors. There are people that have gone ahead of you, people that have done that course, people that are actually good. You can seek help from them. What you don't understand, they'll put you through, oh, this is how to navigate this course, this is how to go about this course. You can seek help from them. You can also seek help from your peers, from your classmates, from your course-mates. You can seek help from them. Oh, I don't understand it, please, can you clarify this? They will gladly put you through. Also, you can seek help. You can also have a study group. You know, some people, study group works for them. When you're in the group, people have read, and when they share their idea and perspective about a particular course, you're able to have a better insight and understanding. So you can actually seek help from a study group. Also, there are tutorials. Most time, fellowships, churches, and different organizations, they organize tutorials. So you also attend tutorials. No one is an island. So some things you don't understand, that some people understand it very better. You can actually seek, don't die in silence, don't understand this, and you are trying to be reading, studying, you're not getting the in-depth understanding of that particular course or that particular topic. Why don't you seek help? Seek help from your friends, seek help from your seniors, and it will help you to do better. It will help you to achieve that first class that you aim to achieve. Number 8, prepare for assessment and exam. This is a particular mistake people. When it's time for assessments or when it's time for exams, people just read. No, you don't just read like that. You have to prepare for exam. You have to prepare for it. You have to prepare for it. How do you prepare for it? Example, you have a course. Oh, this is the exam you're going to write. You go and take past question papers. Once you revise about 5 past question papers, you will see questions that repeat. I teach, I lecture, and I tell you most times, we are so occupied that we may repeat question or may tweak it. So when you revise past question paper, it gives you an edge and you'll be able to do better. So also, because you've been attending classes, there are some questions or some tips the lecturer might have given you that will come out in exam. If you have a possible question you feel that is going to come out, you sit down, take a book and a paper and jot it down how you're going to answer it. Revise it. If you can memorize some, you memorize some. You have to be intentional. You don't just come and read like that. No, you have to sit down, prepare, be intentional about the exam. You have to prepare for your exam. Have a book, you've written down possible questions, how to attempt it. Prepare and be intentional. And also ask your senior colleagues, how does this lecturer do? Some lecturers do not want long questions. They just want you to go straight to the point. Why some people want you to show workings, want you to talk and express yourself. Why some people, they want you to convince them with some sketches and some diagrams. So you have to be intentional. You have to ask your senior colleagues, how does this lecturer want their questions? You have to be intentional and prepare for you to come out with a first class. Number 9, which is in line with what I spoke before, is be intentional about answering questions. I came from the medical field. For anatomy, if they ask you anatomy of the breast, so you just write anatomy of the breast. No, you now do the first heading will be you give little subheadings. The first heading may be introduction. After the introduction, we can talk about the elevation, we can talk about the location, we can talk about the content, you can talk about the importance, the clinical correlation, you can even draw. By the time you have given like 4 to 5 or 6 subheadings and you have written content in each of them, you are going to have good grades. During my undergraduate, I had a colleague who was so intelligent. If he explains anatomy for you, you will fall in love with anatomy. But his grades were never good, not because he wasn't intelligent. He wasn't intentional. You can't be answering questions and be writing love letter. You are telling if they ask you about the anatomy of the breast, start writing breast. No way now. Give little headings, subheadings, and begin to answer those questions. And by the time you are done, if that score is going to be 20 marks, by the time the lecturer sees your introduction and your little subheadings plus your diagram, you would have gotten a 14 or a 15 from that question. But somebody that would have written a love letter, no heading, write, and put a full stop, the lecturer may read and just give the person a 5. And the person might have written more than the person that he gave a subheading. So be intentional. Know what works for each lecturer. Know what works for each course. Be intentional how you answer your questions. You have to be intentional. This is what some of the experiences I learned. When we finished from anatomy in my time, and found that some people you expected to come out with a 2-1 did not come out with 2-1. I don't know whether in the history of University of Port Harcourt, whether anybody has come out with first class in human anatomy. But we have 2-1s. Some people that got 2-2 or 3rd class know that they were least intelligent. But most of them, they're not intentional on how to answer questions. This point is very, very important. That's what I'm stressing on this. Be intentional how you answer exam questions. Number 10 point is stay focused and motivated. Remember, you are in school. You are there for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Know the purpose you are there. Remind yourself why you are there. Motivate yourself. Remember to eat well. If you want to forward to first class, remember you have to eat very well. You have to sleep well. Take a good nap. Also, you also have to have a social life. Yes. That you are in school doesn't mean you don't have to have a social life. Have a social life, but also have an accountability partner. Surround yourself with people that will motivate you. Don't have friends with people that are not interested in coming out with first class. Don't have friends with people that are not interested to have good grades. So surround yourself with great people. Great minds encourage you. If you're watching this video and you are saying, oh, this information is coming late, I'm already in 3rd class, what do I do? If you apply these tips, I bet you move to 2-2. If you're in 2-2, you can move to 2-1. And if you're in 2-1, you can move to first class. So if you find this video very interesting, please share it to other people. Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe to my channel. If you have more important other things you want me to discuss among adolescents, among youth, some things you're facing, please put it in the comment section. First class is possible. It gives you an edge over other people. You have the confidence to apply for a job. It builds your confidence, it builds your courage, it builds your charisma. First class is possible. Aim to have first class. Work smart and not work hard. See you in my next video. Bye.